I'm in a complicated relationship with Malaysia. Let me explain. See, two things unite us: food and sports. We can go on and on about how delicious Malaysian food is, how it brings us together, and how various communities and cultures continue to enrich our cuisines. Suka sangat thosai, char kway teow, yes! What is life without rendang lah? Mi kolo, oh my god. We cheer our athletes on and we cry when they lose games and apologize. We tell them, it's okay, you're a winner in our hearts. We speak with so much love and kindness, almost like we're able to look at each other as just Malaysians. Ethnicity, gender, race, religion, sexuality all fade into the background when it comes to these two topics. Or we get so excited we can ignore everything else we may otherwise not be too happy about. Tapi, bila buka social media or when you start talking to Malaysians from different walks of life, it's obvious that no amount of well-timed unity ads with Malaysians in their traditional costumes, waving our flag, vague one-liners about harmony, food, or sports can truly heal or mask the cracks within ourselves, the community, and system. And thus begins the messy, complicated part of my 30-year-old relationship with Malaysia. Institutionalized racism, discrimination, sexism, corruption, gleeful acceptance of privilege and justification for discrimination, deaths in custody, exploitation and erasure of Orang Asli and native communities, and denial of basic human rights for not just some Malaysians, but also for many who call Malaysia home, are the most common transgressions that come to my mind. All things a flaky roti canai banje and teh tarik can't fix. All things that make so many of us feel like macam nak break up dengan Malaysia. It's so bad, a lot of us are starting to tell each other, leave Malaysia lah, like no point already, penat doh. So much love, pain and alienation. Sounds pretty toxic and hopeless, I know. But you know what? I refuse to let the ones guilty of tarnishing Malaysia's image, the ones who yell balik China, balik India, to crush my spirit. Aku, Malaysia. I am Malaysian. I exist, I belong, I matter. I will not let unscrupulous, corrupt and bigoted individuals stop us from rewriting the narrative of what it means to be a Malaysian or rob Malaysia of its bright future. But disclaimer, I'm not here to tell you that you should stick around forever, not if it means destroying your mental health or if you feel like you have no future in this country anymore. Sebab, kalau nak kita jaga kita, kena saya jaga saya dulu. But, I am here to share why I think there's still hope and Malaysia is worth fighting for. All the things that have given me glimpses into what we can be. Here are 3 reasons why I still believe in Malaysia. Number 1, we're having the difficult conversations. In just the past few years, I've seen and been a part of some really heated video calls and WhatsApp conversations discussing isu sensitive with people who would previously not even engage because, not my problem lah. I feel like there is a renewed interest in learning about what's wrong and how we can fix it. I'm seeing Malaysians making an effort to share suggestions to fix the problems we're facing as a nation. Conversations about a better Malaysia are no longer just a part of elite exclusive groups. Yeah, things might be different on the grassroots level because memang kalau orang dah tengah kais pagi makan pagi, kais petang makan petang, tak ada masa nak fikir pasal isu-isu negara. I admit, a lot of work still needs to be done there. Basic needs and necessities need to be fulfilled before there is a larger participation in discussing current and social issues. But this is a great start. This makes me so hopeful because step 1 to fixing our problems is acknowledging and talking about them. Number 2, we're holding leaders accountable. Sure, a lot might just be online today, but social media is a powerful agent of change. These platforms are shedding light on so many important things and helping us make more informed decisions. But not fake news lah, please. PSA, always check and verify before jumping to conclusions. My parents' generation are used to thinking that all resistance can lead to riots and war. They draw from their own experiences of being post-World War II children and living through the May 13 riots. It shaped their worldview. But ask any young Malaysian today, and we're likely to disagree. We know that resistance can be peaceful, be it online or offline, and have brought positive changes to the country. Every little bit matters. Whether we choose to march down the streets, create TikTok videos, or write articles, dissent is our freedom of expression. Malaysians are coming together as one and showing strength in numbers, a completely normal part of a healthy democracy, and we have been doing this successfully and consistently for a while now, despite the many efforts to silence dissent. There are fewer than 1,000 elected officials in Malaysia, lebih kurang lah. So kalau buat maths to put things in perspective, less than 0.003% of people living in Malaysia are elected officials. So for every incompetent politician, there are more than 1 million ordinary, kind, empathetic, generous, competent and excellent Malaysians, many of whom are doing everything they can to make things better. Sure, it's not an ideal situation because we're not elected officials with the right resources, but the fact that people care means something. Frontliners are doing everything they can despite the awful circumstances they have to live with, and people are risking their lives to help distressed family members, friends, neighbors, basically anyone who's in need. Okay, look, I don't know how all these would play out during elections or a year or two from now when the pandemic calms down. Will we be as vigilant? Will we continue holding politicians accountable? Will we make more conscious efforts to understand politics and policies so the bare minimum won't fool us? Will we stop subscribing to racial politics as voters? I wish I knew the answers to these questions, but what I do know today is that living in Malaysia right now feels a lot like hitting the rock bottom. And the only good thing about rock bottoms is that kalau nak gerak, there's only one way to go. Up, up and up. Wow, like Tamil movie motivational speaker already. But you know what? Basically, I'm not ready to give up on Malaysia. I know that's easier said than done, especially given how things have been lately. But for those of us who can continue fighting for Malaysia, it's the least we can do. Because it is, after all, the only place so many of us call home. And on the really bad days, I'm inspired by the ones who rush to help the minute they see someone in trouble, the ones who stand up for those who can't, the ones who cheer others on, the ones who fight for justice, the ones who dedicate their lives to a better Malaysia, the Malaysians who care and show up. On those days, the relationship feels just a little less toxic. For all our quarrels, heartaches, and sometimes outright vicious comments towards entire communities, we're a family. A messy, problematic ohana that has a long way to go. I think the only way to end this is by quoting Stitch. Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten.